Kunja Bihari. Jayo Gopijana Vallabha Giri Varadari. Jayo Gopi Janavallabha Giri Varadari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Jaya Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Shri Advaita Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Pada, Prabhupada. Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivacharya Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivacharya Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Janitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, Sri Guru Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today morning we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, entitled What Prahlada Learned in the Womb. Text 54. Daitya yaksha rakshamsi striha sudra vraja aukasha kaga mriga papa jivaha Santihi achuta tam gataha. Daitya yaksha rakshamsi Sriya sudra vraja okasaha Kaha mriga papa jivaha Santihi achuta tam gata. Someone can read. Daitya yaksha rakshamsi Riya sudra vraja okasa Kaha mriga papa jiva Hamsi Ya sudra vajahoksaha Amriga papa jivaha Where Mataji's? Kamriga papa jivaha Santi achuta tam gata. Daitya yaksha rakshamsi Sriya sudra vrajahokasaha Kaha mriga papa jiva Shanti achuta tam gata. Daitya yaksha rakshamsi Sriya sudra vrajahokasa Aha mriga papa jivaha Santi achuta tam gata. Word to word meaning. Daitya. Oh demons. Yaksha rakshamsi. The living entities known as the Yakshas and Rakshasas. Striya, woman. Sudra, the laborer class. Vraja Okasaha, village cowherd men. Kahaha, birds. Mrha, animals. Papa Jivaha, sinful living entities. Santi, can become. He, certainly. Achuta tam, the qualities of Achuta, the Supreme Lord. Gataha, obtain. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. O my friends, O sons of demons, everyone including you, the Yakshas and Rakshasas, the unintelligent women, Sudras and coward men, the birds, the lower animals, and the sinful living entities can revive his original eternal spiritual life and exist forever simply by accepting the principles of Bhakti Yoga. Purport. The devotees are referred to as Achuta Gotra, or the dynasty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is called Achuta, as indicated in Bhagavad Gita. Senayor ubayor madhyes ratam stapaye me Achuta. The Lord is infallible in the material world because He is the Supreme Spiritual Person. Similarly, the Jivas who are part and parcel of the Lord can also become infallible. Although Prahlad's mother was in the conditional state and was a wife of a demon, even Yakshas, Rakshasas, women, Sudras, and even birds and other lower living entities can be elevated to the Achuta Gotra, the family of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the highest perfection. As Krishna never falls, when we revive our spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, we never fall again to material existence. One should understand the position of the Supreme Achuta, Krishna, who says in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Janma karma chame divyam yevam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naitima mitiso Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. One should understand Achuta, the Supreme Infallible, and how we are related with Him. And one should take to the service of the Lord. This is the perfection of life. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam says, Achyutatam Tyuti Varjanam. The word Achyutatam refers to one who never falls to this material world, but always remains in the Vaikuntha world, fully engaged in the service of the Lord. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Sakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamsa. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shirade Vrinda Vaneshwari Rishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namile Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, seeking the blessings of all Vaishnavas. Speak from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, from my own purification. So, we come to the end of this chapter. So, Prahlad Maharaj is encouraging his friends to become a bhakti yogi. So, in the purport, what is the main focus of the purport? What would we read? Okay, accepting Bhakti Yoga. Anyone can become, yeah, that's given. There's one particular word has been focused. Yeah, achuta. So, in the purport, the three things are addressed. What is achuta gotra? Or what is achuta gotram? I mean, what is meant by that? And who is eligible to become achuta gotra? And then finally, how one can become achuta gotra? These three things are given. What is achuta gotram? Who is eligible? And how can achieve? Says achuta gotra means gotra means dynasty, basically, the lineage. One time a devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, everyone is asking what is our gotra. In Vedic civilization, they identify their lineage. Even in modern also, there is a stream of study called genealogy, I think. You trace back your lineage, where you are actually coming from. So, so the Prabhupada said, our gotra is achuta gotra. So the achuta means the Lord is infallible. Achuta means one does not fall. One does not fall. Why? Because here Prabhupada is saying the Lord is called achuta as indicated in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord is infallible in the material world because He is a supreme spiritual person. Even though the Lord appearing in the material world, just like a normal human being, but that does not defame His position as a supreme person. One who considers the Lord as a human being is a muda. Avajananti ma muda manusham tanum ashritaha. Krishna is saying. Even though the Lord appearing as a human being, performing his super excellent pastime, but still he is not come under the effects of the material energy. And there is another meaning for achuta also, which is from Bhagavad Gita. Here Prabhupada quotes, Senayor ubayor madhye ratam sthapaye me achuta. This is a famous verse where Arjuna instructing Krishna to take his chariot in the middle of the battlefield. So you can see who has assembled. So in that, Prabhupada explains in the purport that the Lord is very causeless mercy. So he is engaging himself in the service of the Lord. Arjuna also saying, achuta, even though I instruct you, you act as a charioteer. I instructed you to take this chariot and you have to follow this instruction. But still you are achuta. You have a great position, you are infallible. And the Lord himself put in that position so that he can relish the relationship. And he is pleased by carrying out the order of his devotee. The pure devotees ordering him, Prabhupada writes, he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is infallible master in all circumstances. In similar purport, Prabhupada writes, he never fails in his affection for his devotee, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible. So there is another meaning for infallible or achuta is that he never failed to give his affection to his devotees. Yeah? He never fails. He is always there for his devotees. So that's the main reason. If you see the introduction of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, nor in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, even though especially in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, if you see the first few chapters, the position of the Absolute Truth, Krishna as Swami Bhagavan, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, and the glories of devotional service. Even Narada Muni recommends that the literature should glorify the Supreme Lord who is in great position. So a lot of information given the position of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as absolute truth. But when he was introduced in the 7th chapter, he is a charioteer who is carrying the orders of the Arjuna. So that shows that the Lord, even though he is a supreme person, but he is always there for his devotees as a Bhaktavatsal to show his affection, which he considered as is the best identity, I would say. Sometimes we may have a lot of designation in this material world, as a father, as a mother, as a manager, as a maybe academically great or a scientist, whatever. Many people may know our position according to their relationship or according to their understanding who we are. But someone asks us, who are you? We only tell what is actually close to our heart. We may be the CEO, or we may be the manager, or we may be the... So, Krishna, even though he is, someone may say him as a Supreme Brahman or Vasudev, all-pervading, or it can be addressed as Paramatma, or even, great personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Purushottam. But he likes when we addressed him as Yadunandan, Devakinandan. So he feels pleasure. Oh, you identifying and you calling me in relation to my devotees. And similarly, Krishna also very inclined in that relationship. When someone glorifying him in relation to the pastime or the devotees, he feels more pleasure. In fact, we know the fact that even though the Krishna is so great, but still he liked to be a coward boy in front of his devotees, and the famous, all his pastimes, 10th canto is revolving around his devotees. So he never fails to give affection to his devotees. So that's why his name is Achuta. This word Achuta is also mean that Krishna never falls down to this material world. The Mayavadi says that we are God, you are God, but at this moment we are forgotten that we are God, and by meditation we will revive our God. So Prabhupada in a lecture in numerous ways, many occasions, whenever this topic of Achuta, infallible come, he always says, the moment you say you are forgotten, you have lost, you are not God. So this is from Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, where Arjuna is asking question to Krishna that you have given this knowledge to the sun god Vivaswan many millions of years ago. How is that? Because we were all equals. How you could able to remember? So Krishna is saying that when I was speaking with the sun god, you were there, and I also was there. But you cannot remember, I can. So that actually shows that Krishna never changes his body. There is no difference between the body, the soul, the mind of Krishna, because he doesn't change. He comes as a self-same, original Shamashundar, two-handed form when he comes to this material world. Atma Mayaya, that he comes as in his own internal energy. But the Jiva, we are changing, we are prone to change. Our mind is changing, our body is changing. We cannot remember things because of this change. But Krishna can. That's a difference of a normal Jiva and the Supreme Lord. He can remember everything. He never fall down. Also Achyuta Prabhupada in one occasion he says that he never withdraws his promise or falls from his word. So this Achyuta gotra, the Supreme Lord, is infallible. But we are not infallible, we are prone to fall. That's why we are here in this material world. But by coming in touch with Krishna, or devotional service, or Krishna's representative, we can revive our original family dynasty, or Achyuta Gotra. Now then, Prabhupada, here in this verse also, many people can revive their original eternal spiritual life. So here Prahlad Maharaj is saying, "O my friends, O sons of demon, any demon have become devotee?" From Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. It doesn't matter, whatever. Vritrasura is there. Any yakshas and rakshas? Kuvera, even all these kids, Prahlad Maharaj and classmates, all going to become devotee. Women, huh? What is that? Manikanta. Women. We see a lot of women in devotional service, right? So many. The Brahmana's wife, normal, so many. Sudras, huh? Mrigari, who is a famous Sudra in Bhagavatam, who become devotee. Vidura, thank you. Covered men, we know, all the Vrindavan devotees are covered. Birds. Jatayu, thank you, I was thinking that. Any lower animals? Yeah, thank you. Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see a lot of dog, puppy, Nimai had a puppy. Have you heard this story, Haigriva? Yeah. Sinful living entities. Jagai Madai, we are all here in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. So, we see anyone can revive this achuta gotra. There is no or prerequisite. Srila Prabhupada, this is also, if you see, one person, when Prabhupada was giving lecture, one person who had from the hippie culture in San Francisco, he asked a question to Prabhupada. Can I get initiated? Basically, you want to become achuta gocharam, right? If you get initiated, you are officially into the family. He asked, can I get initiated? So, some of the devotees, even though they are very new, they were little disturbed that there are few people who are always disturbing Prabhupada in the lecture. And so Prabhupada said, okay, yes, you can get initiated, you have to answer 2 questions. First question he asked is, who is Krishna? That person was thinking, thought about it, and then said, Krishna is God. He said, yes, okay, good. And then he asked the second question, who are you? And then he thought about it, and then he said, I am a servant of Krishna. And Prabhupada said, yes, that's correct, you are eligible, tomorrow we will have initiation. Many people would think, if we can implement that now, that will be good, isn't it? No Founder-Acharya, no ISKCON disciple course. Prabhupada was so merciful, he only saw if someone is able to sincerely chant Hare Krishna, he is eligible. There was a situation where people not able to know how to give solution to this youth in 60s. They were taking a lot of intoxicants and they basically wasting their life. So the medics, the hospital or the people, they don't know what to do, and the police also, they don't know. They felt Swamiji is the solution. What they started doing is, they used to pick up people from the streets who are teenagers and who are just passed out in the park and everything, they used to collect these people in a wagon station. They used to bring it to the temple and then drop it there. One story is there. There's a middle of the night, one person came to the temple. At 2 o'clock, he was just banging the door. Come on, open the door, open the door. And the devotees were, what is happening, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then they opened the door. This person was like literally on his fear and shaking. And then he saw some police flashing lights and police were there. And then this person is begging, please take me inside, take me inside. I don't want to go with the police. Please take me inside. I want to be here, I want to be here. And the devotee took in and the police came and then said, we were also thinking to bring that guy here only. And he himself came here. So that's good for us. Thank you. And the police left. So this person was telling, I don't want to go there. Please have me here. So the devotees caught him. The next day he chanted. And then he stayed with devotees. So it was like, what actually bewildered them is that these people never listen to any authority. Right? This is one of the quality of a demon. The quality of a demon is that they don't accept authority. Whatever it's so, whatsoever. But surprisingly, they listened to what Prabhupada was saying. That was actually bewildered these police and these authorities, all these people. We were telling these people not to do, but then when Swamiji tell them, don't take drugs, don't do this, intoxicant, they follow. So they couldn't able to put that thing together. How is it possible that this person is like 70 plus and these kids are in teenage, 18, 19, 20, and they couldn't able to understand. And this achuta gotaram, if one has to become achuta gotaram, like if you have to get into the family, there has to be a family priest who gives the thread or who gives the... So Srila Prabhupada was acting like the priest for the achuta gotaram. He was that person who actually getting the people into this family lineage, hiring. He was one parent when Prabhupada was giving initiation. It's Boni. The name of the person was Boni. Mataji got initiated, Govinda Dasi, the first who cooked and who served Prabhupada actually. The parents was very happy for everything except for one thing. Why you have to change this name Boni? Boni is a good name. His father, the daughter was getting initiated. The father was happy with everything except for this thing that you changing the name. Why you have to change the name? So the father asked the daughter. The daughter said, you go ask Swamiji. He is only changing, you go ask him. So the person went to the Srila Prabhupada and asked, why you have to change the name? Is a Boni is not a good name? And Prabhupada said, are you interested in your child happiness? If your child is happy, you will be happy, right? He said, yes. And this is how, by getting initiated in Krishna consciousness, by devotional service, the child will be happy. I can guarantee you, then you can be happy. The person was convinced and left. So this recruitment or getting into the family business or, the family of achuta gotra anyone can become. How? Okay, eligibility is very simple. Okay, anyone can become achuta gotra, that's fine. How did one can sustain, or how one can become achuta gotra? So that's why Prabhupada is giving this verse, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. Especially this verse gives a definition of achuta in terms of living entities, if you really see. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. You will not fall again. You will not fall down. Once you give up this body, there is no way that you are going to come back. And how is it? By Janma karma chame divyam yovam ye veti tattvataha. That you understand who is Krishna, his appearance and activities, the truth, from a bona fide spiritual master. So this verse is related to 4.34 in the same chapter. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upedekshanti de jnanam jnanina tattva darshana. So that tattva is related to this tattva. We surrender to the spiritual master who can reveal this knowledge to you. What knowledge? The knowledge of activities, birth and pastimes of Krishna. One should understand Achyuta, the Supreme Infallible, how we are related with Him. And one should take to the service of the Lord. So this understanding the activities, the birth, the pastimes of Krishna will actually make us infallible. This is actually the result of knowing. The result of, one may say, why I want to know about Krishna? People always ask this question, right? What is in it for me? What benefit I will get if I am listening to Krishna Katha? What benefit is there by chanting? Why I have to do this? Simple answer, you will not take birth again. So Krishna is saying, if you want to stop your cycle of birth, if you don't want to come back again, fall back again, only Krishna, Achyuta Gotram here, only representing Krishna, because anywhere else you go. Krishna says in 7th, 8th and 9th chapter also, whatever you think and wherever you go, you will come back. Only if you come to my transcendental abode, transcendental nature, if you attain my transcendental nature, then you will not come back. It's a one-way ticket. But if you go to demigod, if you go to forefathers, if you go to anywhere, whatever lineage we so far, some people ask, oh, I am Brahma Gotra, I am Shiva Gotra, I am this Gotra, I am that Gotra, forefather this, that, this, like all we have so far. What is the use? No use. We will be coming back again. We should understand this is our family. The real family is reunion with Krishna. All other family is just a temporary thing which will not be there for permanently. We cannot be there with them permanently. On the platform of the soul, we are all part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivamso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Krishna is saying, you are all my amsa. By understanding the nature, the pastimes and appearance and all the activities of Krishna, we are connecting back to our original becoming complete. So that's why we should understand, we should know about Krishna. The more we know about Krishna, and Krishna directly from Krishna by the Bhagavad Gita or from his representative, it will make us easy to develop that relationship with Krishna. Krishna says, Rahasyam etad uttamam, the same chapter. Arjuna, I am going to tell this secret to you because you are my devotee and a friend. Right? What is that secret? The secret is the relationship of a jiva with Krishna. That is the secret. By knowing how we are connected, most people know that we are spirit soul. But then that's a starting. But the more is, what is my connection with Krishna? How am I related? Reviving one's relationship with Krishna, that's a secret actually. That's a rahasyam. Once we revive our spiritual nature, spiritual relationship with Krishna, then we can cultivate the bhakti, especially the devotional service, by watering the seed of bhakti. Then we can attain this infallible abode, the eternal abode. And Prabhupada is saying, this is the perfection of life. The word achuta refers to one who never falls to this material world, but always remains in the Vaikuntha world, fully engaged in the service of the Lord. This is our goal. Our goal is to go back home, back to Godhead, where we don't want to come back again. And it's available for everyone. We see time and again when Srila Prabhupada want to give this secret to everyone. The first venture he starts is back to Godhead. And then he has his caption, right? Where there is light, there is no nuisance. Godhead is light and ignorance is nuisance and everything. So in that, he is writing a letter, especially when he started in 1944, this Back to Godhead magazine in India. It was not an easy thing because writing is one thing, but then to publish or something, you need to get permission from the government to get papers. In those days, mainly the communication is through hard copies. And because India was in the subjugation of British rule, they always had this fear that you can misuse the paper and print something which is against the government and create a propaganda. So all these things are there. So a lot of politics and very not a conducive atmosphere, I could say that. So Prabhupada actually put a lot of effort to get papers for printers. And it's just a 4-page magazine which he started. And one of the mission or one of the main thing he carried was that he know how to go back to Godhead. He's got the medicine or he got the solution to going back to Godhead. And he really want to give it to people and explain to them how you also can go back home, back to Godhead. This is his main motivation, and in fact he writes that to the government in order to get paper. And he writing that, I know actually how to go back home, back to Godhead, and I don't want to go alone. And I don't want to go alone. He got the secret. And I really want to take people also with me. So I need this paper, I need to run this magazine, publication. So please give us this, permission or the letter so we can able to print more and distribute. And Prabhupada only saw this opportunity that where is anything little bit. In fact, on several occasions, he really didn't have connection with his family. At one point he stopped worrying, or for him, he wants to make everyone achuta gotra. He is not just concerned about his family. His mood was that I want to make everyone achuta gotra. And I need to do this. And this is my order of my spiritual master. So very broad application of the instruction of the spiritual master. And he know that to do that, I need books. He understood that. And this is also one of the instructions that he has to write. So when Prabhupada was starting writing Bhagavatam, most of the God brothers were not happy, saying that we already have commentaries. We have Chakravarti Pad, we have Sridhar Swami, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. So why you have to write this book again? Prabhupada knew that he is not going to speak or spread this only for a local audience where already Hindi or Bengali or... He wanted to preach in West, and for that he need English, authentic English. Even in the same context of 4th chapter, Prabhupada writes that there's a need for a bona fide authorized English translation of Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada was initial days, he used Bhagavad Gita written by Mayavadi. Yes, there's no option, so he needs to read the verse and he gives his purport. And he had the manuscript of Bhagavad Gita written. All the students initial, where they were new, they requested Prabhupada, can you read this Bhagavad Gita and read from your manuscript? So Prabhupada was so happy, so then he told to get the manuscript from his room, and then he gave lecture, which is not published, which is not printed. But he was so happy. And then he writes in that context how due to time there is a need for reviving this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita by Krishna to Arjuna. Similarly, there was a need and there was a demand, there was a time where there was lack of authorized bona fide Bhagavad Gita translation. Even in the introduction, Prabhupada writes, one of the English lady asked Prabhupada, can you recommend a bona fide Bhagavad Gita? Can you recommend a Bhagavad Gita book? Prabhupada didn't have an answer, because he knew whatever is there in the market, it's not the Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna wanted to speak or what to convey. It was all filled up with the author's ideology. So Prabhupada felt, I couldn't able to give, so that made him to write. So we see that so he was putting his purport, he was giving his books so that can be used to make people to understand who they belong to, which family they belong to. You are not American, you are not an Englishman. My ancestor from this, my ancestor from that. You are not Indians, you are not Australians. Prabhupada says, you belong to Krishna. Your gotra is achuta gotra. Don't think we are this one, that one. These are all bodily thing. So Prabhupada knew where he is coming from. And he also knew who all these people. So he acted as a true priest in that sense, who initiated everyone into this achuta gotra. So I'll stop here and see if anyone has any question, corrections or comments on what we discussed today. See this I like this picture. Hiranyakashipu thought Prahlad belongs to a demon dynasty. He thought you should take our lineage forward. You are a son of the best of the demons. But Prahlad knew, I don't belong to these Daitya or Adityas. I don't belong to these Yaksha, Rakshas. I belong to Achuta Gotra. And you, all these friends, you are also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, you mentioned how if a person considers the Lord as a human being, he is called a Mudha. But we are hearing lectures that every eternal living being has a specific rasa with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like someone will be a friend eternally, he'll have a parental love for the Lord. So how do we understand this?
God is a person, right? But he doesn't have material qualities. So when you say a person, then you have a relationship. But that relationship is not mundane material relationship. That is our spiritual relationship. The rasa or we as a person, we have a relationship with Krishna. So when we say that Krishna is a human being, then that person thinking that Krishna is also like me, who is going through this suffering, threefold miseries. No. When Krishna comes, he comes in his original spiritual form. When we come, our spiritual body is covered by matter. Then we go through all this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. Krishna is not like that. Krishna appears like a sun. Just because we cannot see the sun, it doesn't mean that the sun is not there. Sun is always there. It's our perception that we can able to see the sun, not able to see the sun. Similarly, when we qualify ourselves with bhakti, we can able to see the Krishna Shyam Sundar form, the original Krishna. It's like the deity, right? When you qualify yourself, you can see deity as Krishna. If you don't qualify, you will see deity as marble. But deity is same. He is playing the flute. So in the material world, when Krishna comes, even though you act like a small 16-year-old boy, but he is not just a material person, human being. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class. My question was, you said about Achuta Gotra.
Yeah.
Krishna he never fails to give his love to his devotees, and he likes to be the servant of his devotees.
Yes.
But if we sometimes, I think, if we think in that mood, I may tend to commit offenses. So then how do we understand?
That's true. But the other part of the side of the coin is the devotees also want to serve Krishna. So there is a transcendental competition going on. The devotees want to serve Krishna, and the Krishna want to serve devotees. So we see Bhagavatam have stories of both, where Krishna is riding the chariot for Arjuna, right? And Arjuna glorifying Krishna. Or Arjuna is shooting arrows on behalf of Krishna. Right? So Arjuna is saying, can you take the chariot there? Krishna is taking. And Krishna is saying, can you kill him? Arjuna is killing. So, in the material world, yes, if we think someone is a servant, then we are prone to give instruction one side. Or you do this. The other person should not speak back, or the other person should not defend, or other person should not tell what we should supposed to tell. In the material world is like that. It's not a loving, unconditional, unmotivational relationship. There's always some conditions there. But spiritual world is different. Spiritual world is that a person is acting as a servant, is not, or telling that, to do service, is not that he is telling for, okay, it's for my pleasure. Even in our situation also, in our daily dealings, we serve each other. Why? So that Krishna can be happy. You're a master servant. You're a leader servant. That's how they say. So the devotee is also looking for opportunity. Krishna is looking for opportunity to serve the devotees, and the devotees are looking for opportunity to serve Krishna. It's so pure. When Krishna is acting in terms of instruction from a devotee, the devotee is not thinking, oh, see, Krishna is listening to me. The devotee is only thinking, oh, if Krishna is happy, then okay. Right? So that's a stage where advanced devotees, they are always thinking like they may scold, or they may threaten, or they may show the stick to Krishna. But why they do? Because they want to concern about Krishna. It's like for a mother Yashoda, she is showing stick to Krishna. Why? Not that, oh, Krishna, you should listen, I am controlling. No. She really thinks that Krishna has to be disciplined because he is becoming naughty. Otherwise everyone will talk bad about Krishna. So that's her mood. So like that. Okay?
Thank you, Raji.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.